So that was a third time I've got the clap.
Goes. Well, you have to sync up the sound with the video. Oh, we don't do that anymore.
Oh yeah. Oh, you think about the old 5-second
Yeah, how it
clapping
used to
thing?
be like, all right, 3, 2, 1.
We can do it if you want.
No, from what you said, from what you just mentioned, I think you've got far more pressing issues. We don't have to worry about that right now.
Okay, cool.
That's a much more dangerous clap, man. I don't have to worry about that.
You are correct, sir.
Yeah, go to see the doctor tomorrow, okay?
Okay.
You don't want to walk around for the rest of your life with that mess.
You're not the boss of me.
I'm not the boss of you, but I'm also not the motherfucker who gave you the clap. So
Hello,
I don't
Cretins.
have to care. I don't have to give a shit. Oh, by the way, not to like completely derail this into the deepest.
There's no format here. Just go with it.
No, the deepest reaches of the stream of consciousness. By the way, did you know? Did you know that apparently the word cretin carries with it some kind of negative connotation?
Oh my god. My god. Oh shit.
I don't want to stay on this.
Completely forgot about all that.
Honestly, that's what. As soon as you said that, I was like, the alarm bell went off in the back of my head. It's like, do you want to do this? Do you want to be stinky? It's like just for a little bit, because honestly, like the first day it happened, I was totally all in on the idea of giving this fucking unkempt fucking mohawk of a person. Sorry, that's the best insult I could come up with.
Yeah, it works.
Yeah. Of giving this person like an honorary Cretins mention. I thought it would have been great. And then she did the thing the next day where she goes, "Thanks for the engagement, snark snark," and then she blocks you.
Yeah.
It's just like the fucking piss pantsiest weak ass bullshit you can do on Twitter.
These kind of people have been coming out of the woodwork for me. I mean, first it was her.
Mm-hmm.
And for context, anyone who doesn't know,
mm-hmm.
A couple of days ago, I was at Universal for the last night of Mardi Gras.
Right.
Took a photo of myself and my kids, posted it online, and
mm-hmm.
it was like a really happy, joyous occasion. It's like, oh, look at this. It's the very last parade of the year. We're actually on it. Something we've never been able to do before. This is such a happy, happy time. And I'm wearing my Cretins Guild ball cap. And then...
See, I don't think I didn't see this one. I don't think you posted anything about it in Slack.
That's how it all started.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then somebody replied using antiquated medical terms that no one uses anymore.
Okay. Is this after the one that you told us about like a couple of weeks ago?
Well, no, this is that one.
It's based off of that one. Okay, all right.
This is all that one, yes.
Okay. So you're just recounting how it all happened.
I'm just recounting, like, for the uninformed, how it all kicked off and how it started.
Please continue.
Well, yes, and she pretty much just ruined what was, like, this really nice, happy thing that I was trying to share with everybody.
Yeah.
And I'm not the kind of person who is mean-spirited or vile or...
And that's a real shame.
Yeah, but you know who is our Cretins Guild Twitter account is. One response. Just one response to what she said.
Mm-hmm.
And we typed in, oh, you'll love our podcast, darling. It's full of mental degenerates or something like that. That's when, in I guess her deluded mind, the floodgates opened up, and she starts saying, "And you're bullying me, and you're doing this and that, and I can't believe you're making fun of somebody with that and that." It's like, oh, and then she's posting like article after article after article, and
yeah.
Like, the stupid don't shut up. The stupid are the loudest, are always the loudest.
Yeah. Yeah, and she was doing it in 2 languages too, which was really fun.
I thought it was very funny that one of the articles she posted, and the whole thing is, her argument is people shouldn't use the word Cretin because everyone's misusing it to refer to stupid people and whatever, when it used to be used for dwarfism or some other bullshit
It was
garbage that
hydrocephalus, wasn't it? Or
I
some sort of
sure, yeah,
sort of an overlapping ailment to that.
this is how much I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't know what the previous term was used for.
It's a ridiculous idea. If you want to be that small about it, for one thing, I think her account was just pretty much like a traffic generating account because
she was
had
going
like,
after celebrities too.
She had 0 engagement on any of those fucking tweets, and she had like 3,000 followers. Tell me, like none of that was paid and bought for.
Oh, I'm
sorry, bought for, not necessarily paid for.
Yeah, that just screams bot.
Yeah, and she was like all excited about like getting your attention too. And as soon as she couldn't take that thread anywhere else, then it was just like the snark in the block, and then that was it. And then she was done.
Yeah, and I loved how she posted something. One of these articles I actually looked at. I was like, okay, how full of crap is this? And at the very bottom of the article, it says something like, medical professionals have not used the term in the last 150 years. Its use is shunned. It's not considered. Nobody uses the term any longer. I highlighted that, put it up, and then she still got snarky about it. Like, I'm going to keep correcting people on, I don't care how you modern day term use it. I was like, whoo.
That's fine, ma'am. I mean, it's not going to really reflect kindly upon your image at all, because you're going to be talking about shit that people can't understand.
Yeah, Jay told me that she has a TikTok account. And oh man, I don't want to imagine the kind of nuttery that is going on there.
Yeah, TikTok's core appeal for most people is distraction and joviality and shit. I couldn't imagine that. I couldn't imagine that an account where somebody's kind of just like lecturing an empty room is going to be all that enthralling.
I mean, yeah, and when you're just like doom scrolling, going up and down, and you find something you don't agree with, you usually just whatever, and then you move on to the next video or whatever. I couldn't do that yesterday at one point.
What did you do?
I found a flat earther.
Oh, wow.
Right there. Right. Yeah. That just tells you everything. Apparently, this guy ignores all scientific physical rules of light and time and just, oh my God. Some of his, I went through his TikTok. I was like, no, you can't be this stupid. No, he is this stupid. Like shining a light on this map of the flat earth and just America. It's like, well, this is how we get sunshine on one side and it's dark on the other side. It's like, the sun isn't a flashlight, dude. But one thing that he said,
shit.
Or one thing he was talking about that I was like, I've got to respond to this. I have to, and it's on my TikTok. Not that I'm trying to plug it. It's just this is the progression of like I felt like I had to say something.
What's your TikTok called?
He was showing the footage of the Apollo 17, the final Apollo mission, where the lander is disembarking from the moon and rejoining with it launches and it rejoins with the command module that's in orbit of the moon. And he had footage of that famous camera shot where the camera's panning up, and it looks good for a few moments. But then the camera operator starts losing it, and it start like going left, overcorrecting, going right. It's kind of like bouncing around. It's like, oh, look at this! They can't even keep the camera shot straight. They're playing Pong with this thing. It's like, okay, you're talking about TV camera controls and RF signals. What do I do for a living?
Dude, we can't even get our live shot straight on Earth.
I know.
I'm honestly surprised that they were able to carry technology that far in the fucking 60s.
Yeah, and I created a little video for myself, and I like clipped a little bit of his. I'm like, instead of letting him just barf out the stupidity that he has, let me tell you how he's wrong. And I'll show an example of like, this is how the controls work. This is how they had it back in 1972. Oh, and by the way, it takes roughly 3 seconds for a signal to go from the moon to the earth and the earth to the moon or whatever. So he's got to work on like a 6-second delay advance.
Yeah.
So they're on their 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. He needs to start panning up so they can get the shot, and it comes back to them in time so he can, it's this whole time dilation thing that I deal with a lot in my current audio job.
Yeah.
So I just thought, man, I've got to say something. I have to. And I went on for like 2 minutes or so, and then I'm accused of just taking too long to get to the point.
What, right now? Or
no, I was in the video. Somebody responded, it's like, I wanted to see the finish, but you took forever to get to the point, so I shut it off. It's like, but you found time to make a comment. I think you watched it.
I think you're standing on airs, dear sir. You did, as a matter of fact, consume the entire video.
Otherwise, it was.
You wouldn't have been compelled.
These kind of people, 2 of them in a week.
That's fucking
off
funny.
The web. Yeah,
it's the first one though was kind of a non-threat. I mean, she was one of those weird fringe concern accounts that tries to bring light to, I don't know, she may or may not actually be that invested into the whole cretinism thing or validating that as a medical term or whatever. I don't even halfway understand what her fucking point was. So here's me pretending now.
Yeah, she's just a nutcase. You know what really concerns me is when, because I work on a show that's broadcasted nationally, I'm more concerned with what people say about that on Twitter the next day. It's like, okay,
oh, yeah,
like, oh, fuck. Oh,
well, because that's real and that's yours and it's quantifiable. Yeah. But like with people that do this, she does it on like a micro scale. But Twitter has given a marketplace to people to like air out their fucking pet concerns all over the fucking place in various scales of influence. So you'll see like people that are like, who's like the most famous person to make a killing off of that sort of an idea, that sort of product.
Twitter?
Well, aside from Twitter, yeah.
Aside from Elon.
Aside from, well, he ain't making money on it, dude. Yeah. he's making the exact opposite of a living off of that. And honestly, so was Twitter before the sale anyway, which is why they kept trying to reinforce an advertiser's market onto that website, which is honestly when it started to, start shitting down all of its own legs. But I'm trying to think of somebody who got famous off of Twitter by bitching about something that's not really important. And I know that there are a lot of them out there.
Solely off of Twitter? I can't think of a single person.
They usually orbit somewhere around like 30 to 40,000 followers. And because my brain's working against pressure right now, I can't come up with anyone. But there's a lot of other accounts that were basically trying to make a bid for the attention market like those bigger accounts did. And this one was so fucking clearly one of those. Because wherever this notion that she had to buy into like this sort of an idea that like a disused term needs to be in common usage again, or therefore it's not important or something like that. That had to come from somewhere, and even if it was her idea, it was offered very lightly, and that was all she had.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
Jay had a great suggestion of doing a live stream and collect money for charity and actually give it to the ADA.
Well, the people that aren't like referring to themselves as Cretins anymore, because
the people who are truly suffering
right there.
Yes.
I mean, you could donate the money to us too. We're not going to complain about that, but that's just all going to go to my cocaine habit.
You don't have a cocaine.
I don't have a cocaine habit.
You have a heroin addiction.
Yeah.
No, wait. I'm sorry. I misspoke. I meant hentai addiction.
Yeah, I know. If by cocaine, do you mean comic books where a lot of people are naked? And you don't want to mention that because you think cocaine has a bit more cred than that does? Yeah, okay.
What are you doing in there? Cocaine. Lots of cocaine.
What are you doing in there? Why is your bedroom locked? What's going on? I'm shooting up. Damn it, you just killed the buzz. Leave me alone.
Okay.
Anyway.
Yes.
Let's leave my hint. I mean cocaine habits out of the conversation. Because I don't want the feds to find me.
So with that all being said.
And then get all disappointed because I don't actually have any coke.
Well, you're drinking. That's liquid crack.
Well, yeah, it works.
We are the Cretins Guild. He is Corey. I am Bob. I know.
Oh shit! We just got to that.
Yeah, we're just now getting to the introductions. We are part of the Podfix Network.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just double check that. Yes, Podfix Network. We tag ourselves Podfix Nation as well, or Pod, or
make sure we're still on the call sheet though.
No, we are. I mean, there you can watch or listen to great shows such as Little Bits and Pieces, Two Drunk Mills, and a Gen Z. Check it in with Chomo. I got it right, Paul. Sorry about that.
I want to just make sure I'm confirming that one of them is Two Drunk MILFs. Is that it? Or...
Oh my God, no. Oh, Jesus, God, no.
I mean, you don't have to leave it in.
Laura, Sabrina, Jocelyn. Sorry.
Oh,
StreamYard's a little messed up.
Did I say two? I guess there's three.
Well, the name of the show
is
Two Drunk Mills.
Mills.
And a Gen Z.
Oh, okay. All right.
Not two MILFs. Trust me, I think they would appreciate the joke. If not, they've made it 100 times before on their own show.
But you see, now I'm picturing a pair of like grist mills that are sitting opposite each other on like a river, and they're drunk. I don't know if it means that they are physically drunk in some sort of like a twisted metaphor, or if it's like the staff that works at each mill kind of like getting soused and shouting, nasties at each other from across the way. Honestly, I'm just going to stick with MILFs. It makes more sense. Also, merchandising.
Put all that on a t-shirt.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I wouldn't, but...
Yeah, I would.
I'm not a MILF, so it wouldn't really play to our audience. Yes. You're going to continue promoting, or?
No, I think they would want me to shut up right about now.
Yeah, it was like, nah, just do it after the
Especially
other guy
Keith
leaves.
and Chris are like, Bob, shut up. Don't keep going. All right. So later as of the week of this recording, later on, we got Tears of the Kingdom coming out. So happy Tears of the Kingdom week, everyone.
Yep.
I'm sure you're going to get it at some point, if not pre-ordered already.
I didn't pre-order it.
I haven't either, but I will, or I will order it.
Sorry, I didn't mean to I didn't mean to proffer that kind of tone. I'm gonna play it. I mean, it's Tears of the Kingdom. People have been asking about fucking sequels since like a month after Breath of the Wild came out. So yeah.
Yeah, I think it was a month after the bike DLC came out. It was like, oh wait, where's your sequel?
When people finished it, as soon as like that happened, as soon as people made their way to like I still don't really understand because I haven't beat Breath of the Wild yet. But as soon as they made their way to like fucking puce mist fart waft Ganon towards the end there, and they as soon as it got done,
it's outside of London.
What's that?
The name of the city. It sounds like it's outside of London.
Right. I mean, well, they would both be period settings, wouldn't they? Yeah. As soon as like people were done with it, they were like, all right, we want the next one. And maybe give it a couple of minutes to kind of breathe for a little bit.
Yeah, I haven't.
Go ahead. Oh, sorry.
No, that's all right. Sorry. I haven't pre-ordered yet because I'm still playing Advance Wars.
Yeah.
Which I've been waiting a year and a half for it to come out. And now that it's out, I'm going to enjoy it.
Yeah. How many Ukrainians did you kill in Advance Wars, by the way?
Oh my God.
So many, right? Because it's directly correlative to the Ukraine-Russian conflict.
Yes, I'm using all my Tomahawk nukes.
Yeah, right. I mean, that's why they kept it in the hopper for so long. Because it was in poor taste. And
to be honest, one of the nations does seem kind of Russian.
Russian-ish.
Russian-ish.
Russian-esque.
Russian, Ruski.
So, yeah, they're a little bit. I remember a couple of the opposing generals that you had to fight in that game from way back in the day. The last time I played an Advance Wars game was Days of Ruin when it came out, so it's been a while. But the only ones that I really remember are Olaf was your first one, right?
That you go against?
Yes.
Yeah, Olaf and Grit.
Oh, Grit!
I loved using Grit.
Grit was my guy. Yeah.
He had the best long range.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else used kind of
Yeah.
whatever. But when you use that superpower, he gets that extra, even further hit range, and that comes in really handy in some situations.
You lean on the artillery with him, and he'll wipe out an entire squadron.
Yeah.
But Olaf was your first guy. So is he the Rusky that you're thinking of, or is there somebody else?
He's well, either him or the CEO who's part of the Green Army. He's got a naval background.
Naval.
Yeah, he's a big fat guy. I can't remember his name. It's him and Eagle who are the main CEOs in the first game, and that's each country had 2 CEOs,
right?
Except for Orange Star, they had the 3.
Yeah.
That you can choose from to play from, but all the other countries only had 2. In the second game, every country now has 3, so they added a CEO for every country.
Forgot. Oh, so there's like new CEOs.
I think they were in the original sequel as well.
Oh, okay. Black Hole Rising.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, I have the game over here. They didn't call it that.
Show it off.
No, it's just reboot camp.
Just reboot camp. Okay.
Yeah, it's
funny.
I think you're right.
By the way, thanks for kicking my brain back to 2001 when I came up with an absolutely ludicrous headcanon. Fuck. I got to get over that. Headcanon for Advance Wars. Because each of the armies is named Orange Star, Blue Moon, things like that. And I kind of had a giggle or two imagining that this is what the serial skirmish would have come to if Lucky the Leprechaun got super pissed off and stopped taking everyone's shit.
Yep. Yeah. And he got military funding.
and then the skirmish just went on and on and on for like decades and decades, eventually outliving its progenitor. And then that's what you were left with. Just these like cartoon armies waging unholy breakfast war over each other forever and ever. Each
Why
carrying
are we fighting Tony the Tiger?
Tony the Tiger. He lost in the Rule 34 wars of 2019. He didn't make it, I'm sorry to say.
Oh, man. You know what? This sounds like not our next nerd playoff, but we should do like a tournament, and between the 3 of us decide who's going to come out of all the breakfast,
like a breakfast tournament?
Yeah.
Hold up. He's kind of busy right now. Let me just ask.
No.
A breakfast tournament for next Cretins tournament next year.
Well, no, like a battle tournament.
I got a very stern nod of approval on that one. Yes.
Stern approval.
Yes. That means no fucking around.
Okay.
Okay.
Right. Maybe I'll make it a mid-year special.
All right. So Advance Wars. That's me saying yes. That's going to happen. Okay. Not like, all right, next topic, dude. Whatever. Dude, trust me. I'll have like a rundown of every single cereal that's on the market right now, ready to go and in your hot little hands.
Okay.
That's a horrible fucking saying, by the way. Who came up with that? Absolutely, just like way too descriptive.
It's somebody from the Midwest came up with that. I'm sure.
Probably. That's where all the really goofy ones come from. Anyway. So Advance Wars was your crucible for this month because, as was previously mentioned, there was a ton of shit to pick from.
Yeah. Technically, I paid for it a year ago.
Yeah. Yes.
So when it did finally show, I was like, looky, I gotta go to work.
Why the fuck was that so funny?
I don't know. I gotta watch it on playback.
Imagine doing that with your newborn child.
Who says I didn't?
Ooh, lucky. Oh wow.
I guarantee I did do that the day I picked up Gimli.
Okay. Aw. Well, that's because you weren't sure what it was.
Oh no, I was very sure.
Yeah, it was a pug.
You're mine now.
Only a pug would come out like that, just like quick as a whistle, and with a plop at the end.
Are you suggesting I gave birth to my pug?
No, that you were there for the birth.
Oh, for God's sake.
And that you were keeping count before he showed up. Yes.
I wish I was. That would have given me more time with him.
Oh.
I know, what's that? That was so goddamn sad.
Damn. All right. Way to bring the room down. Wait, let me try. Hey, Corey reads hentai, everybody. Remember that?
No, that doesn't bring the room down. That
I think it brings the room down even further, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Probably. All right.
All right. So third time, Advance Wars.
Advance Wars. Okay. I haven't gotten it yet, but think about like all the shit that happened this month and just in video games alone.
Oh God.
Yeah. And I'm not even getting to like into like niche indie shit, which if I did, this would not be a short show and we need to be short. So we had Advance Wars happen. Okay. Kind of in keeping with some kind of, I don't know, serendipity, the Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection, that dropped within the last month as well.
Yes.
So in addition to Tears of the Kingdom and at least one other kind of a higher priced game that I was looking forward to coming out this year that nobody else really gives a shit about, I had to pick like my battles twice. MMBN, or Mega Man Battle Network, ended up being the first one because it went out of print. Apparently it sold well. And when that happened, I was like, well, fuck me. I didn't even have like 2 days to jump on this. But apparently Amazon is getting another print order, or they have received another print order at some point. It's not going to be shipping for another 3 weeks. But as soon as that popped up, I was like, all right, $60, done. I'm in. That's it. So it would have been
the other.
The other one's a game called Void Train, which I played the demo for a couple of months ago and like fell immediately in love with, like right away. But that
sounds familiar.
It shouldn't.
Oh. Well, all right.
It's another kind of a sandboxy engineering kind of game. But the reason it grabbed me is because it had this entire narrative. It's like a little bit. It's like a little bit Lovecraft and a little bit like a harder edge speculative fiction, steampunk sort of a setting. Basically, you open up a portal to another world, you get sucked into it, and then you wind up on like a hand cart. And you're on a hand cart. You're on rails. There's this entire it's a void, as per the name. For some reason, there's rails in the middle of it, and you're on a hand cart that's attached to these rails. You can't see where they go or where you're coming from, obviously, because it's a void. But the entire idea of the game is that you're basically traveling through this void while keeping the handcart going, and you're pulling, materials and resources and stuff from out of the ether in order to create your own crafting benches and stuff like that. So it is a crafting game, which is where a lot of people jump off. But I played it and I was like, oh, this is my shit. So it dropped a couple of days ago, and I was like, all right, that's another 30. I'm done. I'm down.
What did it drop on?
It's a Steam PC. What I didn't know about it though was that it was on Epic for about a year and a half, in kind of like a pseudo early access kind of a state.
That's why you haven't heard of it. It was on Epic.
It was on Epic, and nobody made a stink about it, which you're not used to hearing. Because usually if there's an exclusivity agreement and Epic's got it first, people raise all kinds of hell about it. Which is another topic that would need another show for, probably, or a completely different podcast. But those were my 2 bids, and in doing so, I had to let go of Advance Wars and Tears of the Kingdom. Advance Wars will happen sooner rather than later. Tears of the Kingdom, I don't know. I might not get around for that for like a year because I said, I haven't finished Breath of the Wild, and there's so much of that shit left for me to go through.
What have you not done on Breath of the Wild?
I've got 2 of the beasts left, and I haven't touched any of the DLC. There's so many of those fucking shrines. I just keep going to the shrines and trying to do them.
To this day,
there's like 200 of them.
There's 100 and I forgot the number. I want to say 130 before
There's
the
many
DLC.
shrines.
Yeah, there's 4 of them I never found.
Oh, never found?
Yes, the only thing I have not completed in this game, including
Uh-huh.
the DLC, is there's 4 shrines I could not find, and I would have to literally with a checklist go to each location. It's like, nope, 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 nope. I don't think I want to do that 130 times.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be a bit much.
And I haven't found all the Korok seeds, and I will not even attempt that one.
Oh, fuck the Koroks, who cares?
Yeah.
Our friend Mary was trying to do that, like, I remember sometime the year before last,
Yeah, she's got
and
about 1,000 hours in Breath of the Wild.
I guarantee you 3/4 of that's looking for those fucking Koroks.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it for a
Yeah.
second.
I don't know. I try to usually go hard completionist on most of the stuff that I'm into. Like now that I'm 45, it used to be hard completionist in everything I played, regardless of whether or not I liked it, which is insane. But now that it's middle age time, it's like let's just worry about the stuff that's actually fun first, because I don't want to be on my deathbed and being like, I'll beat Fez, I'll get all these fucking no, fuck it. That's the worst way to go. My last words being shit. I wish I got to play God Hand once more instead of fucking Fez or something else that's equally as atrocious and overblown. Which I hope Tears of the Kingdom isn't. There's been that's the reason I'm calling this like the month of hype, because it's not just like a sequel to one of the most critically acclaimed and best-selling games of all time. That's safe to say, right?
Yeah, oh yeah,
It's pretty much
yes.
overshadowed Ocarina by this point.
The definitely the sequel is one of the most anticipated games of all time.
Yes, right. But uh, you don't want to fall victim to FOMO, for one thing. For
Right.
two, hype can make heroes out of assholes. And in the earlier days of like commercialized indie gaming, that happened a lot. And Fez is like one of the biggest examples of that. That
There is
made me
a
a little bit
little
better, honestly.
there's a little bit of a formula I've learned when it comes
Mhm.
to movie and TV shows that
Mhm.
if it's good or if it's well liked
Yeah.
amongst a number of people, it
Mhm.
will get spoiled very quickly.
Oh, yeah,
If
that's
it's
fair.
something that no one cares about, everyone thinks is terrible,
Mhm.
you won't hear a peep about it. So there's some kind of like quality to spoiler chart that I'm pretty because I've had a few things spoiled about Guardians.
Mhm.
And I was just thinking, well, that must be a good movie. And then nobody talked about like the Nicolas Cage Renfield movie. I was like, oh, well, I wonder if there's something to that.
Really? Because I've heard plenty of good about the Renfield thing.
Well,
I mean,
I
not
was
that it was
probably using
shit.
that as an example, but there is some other movie I can't remember what that was garbage.
I was gonna make a point, but you're actually talking specifically about the tendency for well-regarded media to get spoiled early on. This would have been like sidelining that. I was gonna say that like if you were talking about people talking about ill-received media in a general sort of a sense, my counter argument would have been it's Morbin time, and then I would have thrown the gavel down
I
because that
still can't
movie's.
believe I had to do double takes. Like, was that real? Did they real? That was real.
I haven't seen it yet. I really want to, honestly, because the last time I heard about like a Marvel movie being like capital B bad and not like begrudging bad, which has been like the last 4 actual MCU movies, was the Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance movie with Nicholas. It was Nicolas Cage, and it was
Yeah.
directed by the Crank dudes, or directed and written by the Crank people. And I was curious as hell about that movie for the longest time. It wasn't on any streaming though, because it did shit all in the theaters, and it followed a really bad, like a legitimately bad and pretty abysmally boring fucking movie. But the Crank films are something fucking else. Like even if you hate them, you're probably not gonna like find anything like them. So I really wanted to see what that kind of like a perspective was gonna do with like a semi-venerable comic book property, or at least an arguably bankable IP. I wasn't disappointed. I like straight up fucking love that movie. It's stupid. But people always talk about like the part of the movie where it's like, hey, he pees flames. No, that's the shit that's like created for memes, memes, whatever. There are 2 moments in the movie. Mouth. I don't want to fucking hear.
I didn't say anything.
You're gonna be like, oh, you want to canonize that, Corey? And yeah, okay. You can if you want to. 2 parts of the movie where I kind of lost my shit was when Idris Elba came out, and all of a sudden I knew that the movie co-starred Idris Elba. I was like, this is fucking great. 2 was where Nicolas Cage hops up in in one of those super diggers. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Big
Like
wheel on the
plows.
front, scoops like the size of like
Yeah.
2 storage containers next to each other.
Not a caterpillar, but like a backhoe or something like that.
No.
No, you don't have to get into it.
I'm gonna get into it because you need to see. This is how fucking badass it was. Giant industrial digger that looks like it has a massive yo-yo on the front. Let's see if Google can do that. See how adroit our AI learning has become. So it's a giant loader, giant excavator. All right, it's this guy, right? The Bagger 288 is what it is. Oh wait, StreamYard's right there. All right, so everybody that's like listening to this right now, I don't know if it's going to make it to the final cut or not. Bagger 88 is the search term. See what you got.
I don't edit.
What's that?
I don't edit.
Oh, that's right. You don't edit.
Every walk. Oh, one of those things. Okay.
Yeah. So you see what I mean?
Yeah, that was convoluted.
All right. That's would it be any other way? So Nicolas Cage crawls up and that turns into Ghost Rider, and the entire thing catches on fire. So like that giant wheel at the front looks like one of the flaming motorcycle tires, and he's just taking out assholes left and right, and everything's just blowing up, and I'm giddy, and I'm probably half drunk by this point, so I'm just screaming at the TV. And then about 30 minutes later, the credits roll, and I'm like, did I enjoy that movie? I fucking love that bullshit. That gave me life for 2 straight hours. Fine. How did we get to this? Oh,
just quality of video games, quality of movies.
Morbin time is how we got to that. Okay.
Yeah.
So I am gruesomely curious about Morbius. One could even say morbidly curious about Morbius. Please cut that part out.
No, you're gonna sink or swim there, buddy.
Fucking, they give the keys to the wrong people in this joint. Anyway,
you're welcome to edit if you want, but I know you won't.
Nah. Sounds like work. So yeah, if it's I think it's like streaming actually on Netflix right now, and every time I roll past that thumbnail, I'm like,
Netflix or do it. It's either Netflix or Disney Plus right now.
I think it's on Disney Plus. Now it was one of the Sony ones, and Sony's been farming their shit out to Netflix, except for the Tom Holland Spider-Mans, which is pretty interesting, because those aren't on Disney Plus either. They just kind of like, I don't know. I think you have to rent them off of Amazon or something.
I could find out, but keep going.
Fucking whatever. Yeah. Anyway, the morbiality is inevitable. I'm not saying it's going to happen this week or even this weekend, but it will at some point. And when it does, I don't know. You want a book report about it, or?
Yeah, why not?
All right.
I mean, I'll watch it too at some point.
So I'll make sure I'm good and sudsed up for that mess.
Oh, wow. That's the most recent Spider-Man. Let me go with, say, Homecoming. Let's go with that one.
Yeah, go with Homecoming. But even that's that one's not on Netflix.
That's not even on Netflix.
Nope. None of them are.
It's on
which is funny because the Garfield ones are, right?
Oh, I don't know.
For a split second there, you thought I was talking about the cat, didn't you?
Yes.
Just for like a microsecond, you're like, Garfield wasn't it? Oh, God damn it.
Yeah. Okay, I will tell you this. If you have a VPN, it's available on Disney Plus in Australia.
That is fascinating. Why is that?
I've noticed a lot of streaming is on Disney Plus around the world. A lot of it.
Well, do you remember Summertime Rendering?
What was that?
It's an anime about The guy shows up to an island for a funeral of a friend of his, and then a bunch of shit with shadow people and clones and time loops and a whole lot of stuff happens. You don't remember this at all?
Maybe,
Uh,
but either way, keep going.
yeah. Anyway, right. Well, that just dropped on Hulu Plus like about 2 months ago, right? Which is how I was able to see it. But the reason that some like high profile anime projects like that are dropping on Hulu Plus at like seemingly odd and unannounced times is because those are actually produced for Disney Plus in Japan. It's just that for whatever reason, anime does not fly over here. I remember Disney Plus had a high profile anime product drop on its service in the latter part of last year. I fucking forgot what it was, so I guess it's not that high profile. And it's just like nobody watched it because everybody over here is going to be watching Disney Plus for maybe a handful of reasons, and each could take up like a finger on that one hand. Anime is not one of those fingers.
Oh no,
It's going to be superheroes. It's going to be vintage Disney. It's going to be animation. It's going to be
they do
jacked
have
up.
some.
Hmm?
They do have some on Disney Plus.
Well, like Ghibli stuff, right?
Yes.
It's
And
different. I think it's a different audience.
there's a
for
couple
those.
other things that they got through transitions.
Yeah, Disney and the Oscars were able to sanitize that notion of anime to the point that it's seen as like publicly soluble. Like I know people that will watch Princess Mononoke and shit and not really even think about it as anime. They'll be like, "Oh, that is anime. You're right." Before then, it was just one of those movies from that one studio that looks like that.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
to be
but
honest, all anime is animation.
well, all animation is anime.
Yeah, that too.
That's because we're enlightened, Bob, and we should take
It's
over the
art.
That's right. It's art, and we should take over the show business industry immediately,
Well,
so that everybody could look at Made in Abyss.
oh god,
That's a fucked up tune. Sorry, go ahead.
no. I was just thinking of some other shows that
Mhm.
probably shouldn't mention because they would probably degrade me. And
Oh, have you mentioned them to me though?
oh yes, yes. There's
Really?
one that I actually decided I probably shouldn't watch.
Should I watch it?
It was
I'm
highly
gonna watch it,
suggested.
Bobby.
It was
Yeah.
highly suggested by a reviewer that I trust and have the same opinions of.
Mhm.
He says he regrets watching it and does not recommend anyone, especially if they're a dog person.
Oh God, what? Oh no, 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 no,
Yeah.
no.
Okay. Yeah. That one.
No, that's the one anime that I won't
That.
even watch.
Yes. Yeah. The way he put it was, if you're not a dog person, don't watch. If you are a dog person, do not watch.
Don't watch. If you're a person, you can just you're not going to come out of it the same.
Yeah. It's
Yeah, I know that one.
okay.
Yeah. So we're not going to say the title. I'm not going to say the title just because I don't remember. It's too many syllables. Because it's
Yeah.
not been
I don't remember the exact title. I don't want some other show getting confused for it.
yeah, it's not been Hepburnized yet, and therefore I can't really remember. There is one though that I've been wanting to see. You still have Crunchyroll, right?
I'm just gonna say yes.
Okay. They're not like there's not like a sponsorship issue with that or anything, right?
What's your point?
Oh, I was gonna say, so you probably already burned through Tomo-chan because everybody's burned through Tomo-chan.
You know what sucks is I've been watching so much anime,
Hmm.
and a lot of it is in its native Japanese language that the title just goes over my head.
This one was anglicized. Tomo-chan is a girl. It's
Yes.
about okay,
Oh, my friend Tomo-chan.
my friend Tomo-chan. All right, there
Okay.
you go.
Yes, I
Yeah.
love that series.
Okay, so you hit that one. All
I
right.
have.
The one that was just released that a lot of people talk besides Bocce the Rock, which I really want to see, but I don't have Crunchyroll, is called Dangers in My Heart, which is kind of like a little bit of a gender inverted take on Comey Can't Communicate, except Comey is short and a sociopath. So it's kind of a hard sell conceptually, but that's apparently the seasonal anime to be watching at the moment.
Okay. It Like it might have some Tiger Palm vibe to it. And again, that's another
Toradora.
show.
Yeah,
Toradora. Okay. God
Toradora.
damn.
Yeah,
I don't know how you
Toradora's
do that.
Toradora's classic. Toradora is easy to remember. Dude, I mean, you know what titles for anime are like nowadays, right?
Oh yeah, that's like 10 words long.
I took my elf half-sister to a 7-Eleven and now she won't leave. That would be one show. Something like that.
Yeah.
Is it okay to live in a universe where only socks can be eaten? What's another like hypothetical show that follows this titling format?
The Magical Revolution of the Reincarnated Princess from Another World reboot of Healer.
Yeah. Let me think. Rectal inversion isekai, except except I guess I don't have to finish that one.
What'd you just think of?
It's coffee humor. It will not be funny. So let's just move past this bullshit.
No. That's the rule of this podcast. If you tease a joke, you have to tell the joke.
Okay. All right. 3, 2, 1 reincarnation, : why was I resurrected as Roddy Piper? I hope to God that we do actually have somewhat of a listenership in Japan, and that one of them works for like Kinema Citrus or Kyoto or something, and they're like, "Oh fuck me, that's gonna happen now."
Oh my. Okay, first off, I'm naming this episode that title. And second, I know that like the Tiger Mask anime is still a big deal over there, so I could actually see this working over there.
Wrestling is a big deal over there.
Yeah.
This would totally fucking fly. Especially if you gave it to Kyoto Animation. They'll make a tearjerker out of that shit.
Oh my god.
Dude.
Oh Jesus.
Kyoto Animation is so good. They sold a show that's basically just big titty dragons. Doing things. Cleaning houses. Wholesome things. And by the end of that show, it was jerking the tears right out of your fucking eye sockets and not even apologizing for it.
That's what I love about that show, because you know there's some people, some weebs who just turn it on. It's like, I get to see hot chicks and with big boobs and like these characters. Oh my god, they have personality.
Oh my god, there's material here. Oh, what? Oh, I see. That's the thing. You don't know weebs. That market, the market that you just described, the anime titty market.
Yeah.
It is overwhelming. How do you stand out in a market so robust? You have to be good. Your anime titties have to have quality attached to them. You know it as well as I do. We only get like the localized glimpse into the Japanese anime or media market, and it's through a very narrow gap, by the way. Whatever a publisher sees fit to translate into English and put some sort of a stake towards that, bring that over. We're gonna sell this to a very like small audience. We don't see like 2/3 of the shit that gets released over there.
Not everything could be Domestic Girlfriend.
Not everything could be Domestic Girlfriend. You piece of shit. I just washed that out of my mouth like a year ago. And yes, that is also a good anime, but fuck if I'm going to try to sell anybody on it.
Yeah, that's the show that can end a friendship.
Uh-huh.
No, actually, no. That one's not as bad as others.
Oh. Okay. Is this conversation going to continue?
Well, we probably shouldn't continue much further, but...
All right. How about one more minute? Because I want to see where you go with this.
Oh, okay.
What has poked you in your eye in your anime experience so far?
You've done this to me. You suggested shows to me with a warning saying, I really hope this show does not impact our friendship.
I can think of 3 right off the bat. The first one would be Watamote, which I found the Blu-ray of in the basement next door where I'm storing all my shit. So I want to go through that again. The second one would be Space Dandy, not because it's like gross or anything, but because it's just weird,
It is a little weird,
like
but
supremely fucking weird.
I don't think a warning would warrant to that show.
Okay, all right. So I'm gonna scratch that, and here's my other number 2, Shimoneta.
Yeah, that's the one.
As long as it's one that as long as it's one that you have to kind of like shut the door to the den to watch, then yeah, I probably suggested it.
Well, you bought me the Blu-ray,
I bought you the
which
Blu-ray. I did buy you the Blu-ray. Did I?
we came with the movie.
And
I think it was a collector's edition. It came with the movie.
It came with
It came with a pin, and it came with a sock. It should have just come with underwear for me to put on my head.
Didn't it come with underwear?
No.
Oh, okay.
No,
I'm gonna check my collector's edition again, make sure that it did, or didn't. All right. So the third one, 2 candidates. Although I think excuse me, I think the first candidate you actually suggested to me, and then I watched that and I was like, whoa. What's the gambling one? Kakagurui?
Yeah.
On Netflix. All right. Did you suggest that to me, or was that me to you?
That was during that time where we were just binging anime during the pandemic, and that one just, it's like, what are you watching? Okay, what are you watching? All right, and we were just bouncing back and forth as much as we could.
Yeah.
And I think that show fell in that time lane.
That's felt okay, because the first time I ever saw that, it was in 2018, and I wasn't getting out of the house much. That show made me get out of the house.
Okay, so then you suggested that to me.
Okay. The other one, and this one hurts. This one hurts because it is legitimately one of the most like heartwarming animes I've ever seen. Was All You Need Is Little Sister. I cannot even begin to describe that to anybody, because they'd be like, all right, well, I'm calling the cops now.
The first 90 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
All you got to do is get through that first 90 seconds.
The first 90 seconds is brutal. It's so horrible. And then the rest of it's like, oh, it's about like being a novel writer, and they talk about beer and board games for the rest of the show. This is pretty good. But the first 90 seconds, it has to like lend some sort of credence to the titling itself.
Yeah. It felt like because the joke just kept piling on top of each other. And you're thinking, is the whole series like this?
Yeah, and then eventually, like right before it breaks in that one gag, and I hesitate to call it a gag, I think it's more of a test of wills.
Yeah.
Right before the joke breaks, it becomes almost unbearable. And you're like, I can't fucking not even if this was hentai, I couldn't watch this. This is unnerving as shit. And then it gets to the rest of the show, and you're like, oh, well, I guess I'm glad I gave this a shot, but I really would rather have done it without anybody in the house.
Well, the show I was thinking of, and I have suggested it to you before, and it's a rough watch.
What's that?
Well, I mean, think of that first scene from Demon Slayer, or that scene from the first episode of Demon Slayer.
Goblin Slayer, excuse me. Goblin Slayer, that was pretty. That's a pretty rough.
Yeah, you immediately knew I misspoke too, just by that.
That's because I read the manga. I like me some Goblin Slayer. I'm not going to apologize for that. It's fucking awesome.
No, you should not. It is awesome. It's just that that first episode was like, they put this on TV.
Oh yeah, well, whatever goes on Japanese TV. They put All You Need Is Little Sister on Japanese TV.
Well,
yeah.
But the show that takes that one scene from Goblin Slayer and makes a whole season of it is Redo of Healer.
Oh, as soon as you said that shit, yeah,
that show. Whew. I mean, there's obviously there's abuse, there's torture, there's sexual torture, there's sexual assault, there's rape. I'm not sure if that's separate. I think it is. It's heavy. It gets heavy.
Yeah. And it's all like pure, it's like 100% revenge porn, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, the whole thing.
All right. So what it was described to me is as a Shield Hero, if Shield Hero got to do what he really wanted to do.
That's a perfect description.
Perfect description of it. Yeah.
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 It's another harem collection show.
Yeah. Except
Ooh.
the two principal characters are like absolutely just irredeemably horrific.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet. It's been on my radar for a while, but that's another one that's kind of like I kind of like have to file. I mean, we're all like remorseless media addicts nowadays. I think it was 2020 that kind of set us on this path. Unfortunately, for us, all it took was a little nudge. I mean, we're all like the Joker. All it takes is a little push, and that push was being inside all day, as opposed
Not even
to like
a little
most
push.
of
It's
the
like,
day.
hey, look over there.
Yeah.
Oh hell,
dude. All it took for me was for somebody to be like, "Oh my god, I could do this job from home." Okay. All right, we're 2 years past it now. I guess I can admit this. I was doing the show like on the couch and playing Brutal Legend while we were on the air.
Yeah, a lot of people were doing
I didn't.
similar.
I didn't have. Yeah, it's just. I mean, afterwards, people began to like understand the what's that tech what were we using for the switching technology that
Just called Zoom. Nobody knows what the
what our
professional
version of it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there's like an OBS. Actually, people use OBS now, which is hilarious.
Yeah, it's very OBS-esque.
Yeah. So people were using that, but they didn't quite know how to do it. So they also didn't know about hooking that particular software up to animation triggers for the stuff that I use to do my job. So basically, what we would do every day is I would make all the lowers and the supers and stuff that people wanted me to make, but I would just save them off as PNGs, which, by the way, was also an uphill battle. And this is kind of cool. This is probably not going to make it out of this broadcast right here, but I'm pretty sure I created an industry standard because at Golf Channel, do you remember that people were still having us save things out as TGA?
No,
But
I didn't do graphics.
Oh, right. Okay. So the standard was that like whenever we shipped a still off to editing, to be I don't know, sucked up into a package or something, ingested is what I meant to say. They would have us save it off as a TGA. TGA is kind of a lossless graphical format, so they're like, might as well, we can cut all of our losses and keep it as assets. They put all the stuff in a folder to pull from. It doesn't have to be live, So there's no like packet loss concerns. There's no like streaming bottlenecking or anything like that. So they still had us do TGAs for the remotes, and I'm sitting here like, oh, I'm sorry, I missed something. They had us do TGAs for the remotes, and the switcher, the technical director's like, why is this taking so goddamn long? This is awful. We can only run like 10 graphics per show. And I spoke up, dude, it's because we're running them as TGAs. They're too fucking big. They take us like an hour to ship over like Wi-Fi. So tell you what, because most people at home can't really see in that kind of fidelity anyway, we can save them off as PNGs. They'll be an eighth the size. We can give you as much content as we need to, and it won't take 5 minutes for this shit to transfer. I said, no, we're not going to do that. We can't do that. We have to have TGAs. We got to do TGAs. So I ran it up to Mike, and Mike was like, this makes sense. And I talked to everybody else in the room that was like, well, yeah, the entire internet uses PNGs. Why the fuck doesn't the television industry use PNGs? So they ran that up to even further into the other graphics, and they were like, fine, fuck it. We'll try it. We'll do it. And the TD that I was working with that day was like, how are you getting this stuff to me so quick? I was like, because we're using PNGs, dickhead. I don't mean to call you a dickhead.
Or the TD.
You're just receiving it right now because I'm fucking furious and I fucking won.
I was right to begin with.
So here's the cool part, all right? I started doing the other show last year, the New York show, okay? And we had to do the same thing remotely. For the most part, people have figured out how to sync up animations. So I was doing it not like the old way, putting in 10 keys, read, animate, everything goes out. Just the way things used to be. It's just for my bedroom now. But they still had to have me send out like full screens and stuff because those had to be like made right away, and then they had to be like filed out immediately for TD for the switcher to ingest. And when I was like, all right, well, how do you want me to save these? And the guy's like, PNG. And I'm like, fuck yeah, you want to save it as PNG? You all, yeah. Everybody knows. Everybody knows.
Everyone knows.
and that was like a good 2 years after the pandemic started. So I had to come from somewhere. My ego's saying it came from me.
Go with it.
Because of the amount of shit I had to put up with in order to get that, like, even up to Mike, People were saying, "Oh, don't bother with it. Don't worry about it." It's like, "No, I'm going to worry about this." All right. Okay. All right. So, past that, what the fuck were we just talking about?
I don't know, but this is probably a really good time to close it off for the night, because it's funny how I wanted, since it looked like for a little while it's just gonna be you and me every once in a while. I was thinking whenever we do that, we just stick to one topic and keep it about, I don't know, 30, 40 minutes tops. We failed miserably tonight.
I don't know. We've only been an hour.
Yeah,
oh wait, 30 minutes. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Shit.
An hour's longer than 30 minutes.
Well, dude, I'm not an algebra teacher. Whatever.
I know. Okay. We were entertaining.
Yep.
And talking.
Damn it, we don't even have an excuse.
Yeah.
Shit. Oh, well.
All right, so let's sign off this one. But stick tuned. Stick to. What the fuck is stick to? I don't know. Jay's so much better at this than I am. Let me just go. I'll just go into the outro because I suck at this. All right, so we're going to ask that everyone practice infinite diversity and infinite combinations. I don't remember where I got that, but I thought that's a really good line. I need to put that in there. A link tree to all of our socials and other media can be found in the description. Join our Discord and let's continue the conversation. You can find Jay on YouTube at Square Pegs YouTube. You can find me, Skipper Bob's Breakdown. We got merch on tpublic.com that features the art of the fabulous Tom Solo.
Hey, Tom. You're a talented son of a bitch, and I hate you.
We don't hate you. Maybe a little.
I can. I'm a competing artist who doesn't do anything.
Well, you got to hate yourself first, right?
Oh, I do.
Yeah.
I've already got that ground pretty well covered.
Okay. So Tom's got some ground to cover. To build to.
Yeah, and we'll start with my everlasting envy.
We are part of the Podfix Network, and to all of our followers, new and old, we say, welcome to the guild. Why is that German?
I don't know. It was, you said, welcome to the guild, but you put, like, Franco Stank on it. So it sounded like
Bulgaria.
A little bit of occupied France is what I was thinking. The Jamals. Well, wait a minute. What? No.
Okay, now let me ask you. If you want to keep going, we can go for 30 minutes and put one extra episode in the can.
If we're not going to do that, I'm just going to go over to my PC and stay up for like another 2 hours. So yeah, let's go ahead and put that in. Let's get that done.
Do you want to do the WWE title?
What was the other one?
You want? There's a bunch. There's Guardians of the Galaxy, which I'm going to see this weekend. Let's see. There was Visions. You haven't seen that yet. Let's see. There's the wrestling belt. Poseidon's Fury.
Poseidon's Fury. You know what? Star Wars Visions and Guardians would probably make a good piggyback. That would probably make it its own good episode. So I should watch Visions tomorrow. You're gonna go see Guardians
this weekend.
All right, we can put a pin on that until Sunday then.
Yeah, we can talk the title belt if we want.
Let's do wrestling and Poseidon's Fury.
Okay.
While I still have a little bit to pour out for Poseidon's Fury.
Let's see how we are after the title belt. Because I want to try and keep it about 30 minutes.
Okay.
Roughly.
I've got small cold open for the title belt just to set the stage or set the table. All right.
Let me I'm just doing one thing here.
Wouldn't that be one thing?
Let's see. Is it this?
No, it fucking sucks. Just
everything?
My eye. Nah, not everything sucks. If everything sucked, we wouldn't have a whole lot to talk about on this podcast. Honestly. And as it turns out, we have way too much shit to talk about on this podcast. I was checking out
let's see how
doing some reorganization next door, and I found a box with a bunch of unopened games in them. And I wanted to show you this one because I thought you'd appreciate the theme.
Oh, hold on. I got
Oh,
Windows
go
in
ahead.
front.
Right.
I can't put that down now. Not now. All right. What now?
I was going through my storage unit next door, organizing a little bit, and I keep
Yeah.
finding like unopened board games and shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought I'd show you this one because I thought you'd appreciate the theme.
Taverns of Tiefenthal?
Yeah.
Tiefenthal?
You're all running competing taverns.
Oh, it's like bar
So it's like,
monopoly.
it's like a business management sim, but you're running a medieval style fantasy tavern. So there's things like wizards as clientele, and dwarves keeping beer in stock, things like that. The back of it looked really cute. I think this was at that point like in 2020 where like I was just like going insane, and I started just like shopping a lot. So right before I moved, I got all of this stuff. Just started. I just started stacking it all. Putting it away, putting it in like a bunch of totes and stuff. And I found the corner of the basement today that had all this shit, and it's like I completely forgot about all of this. That was a fucked up year. I mean, aside from the obvious reasons, but the way a lot of us handled it was really fucked up in return.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Am I able to do that? What is that? That is boom.
What is it? I say it. What is it? Oh yeah. All right. So you're able to show me all these belts?
This one.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
This one I can show you.
All right.
Okay.
Now, are you
back to that? There we go.
You're able to see stuff in your I'm sorry, in the StreamYard chat, right? Whenever I throw a link down there.
If I look at it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I don't want to do too much with everything I have on my computer at the moment.
Let me see if this works. Nah, it doesn't work. Yeah, whatever. All right.
Let's see. At 1:08, we'll get started.
Okay. 10.
So another 30 seconds. Do you see the clock up in the top left?
Just noticed it. I'm glad I put this name back on because it does fit with the theme for this one episode anyway.
All right, so we'll try and go till 1:38, 1:40-ish, somewhere in there.
All right, cool. You keep an eye out.
Oh, Morbius is available on Prime in Australia because I don't have Netflix at the moment.
Yeah, neither do I, but they do. So, so I'm watching this shit. Oh, by the way, you put the Kibosh on HBO Max, right?
No, I brought it back.
Oh, you brought it back?
Yeah.
Ooh. Well, I kind of want to see what's on there. Well, I that's kind of how I figured it out because shit. Sorry, I went over the 108. Crap. You want to do it at 109?
Do what?
The clock up at the upper left.
I thought you were doing it.
Oh shit! God damn it!
All right, yeah, in 20 seconds.
All right, okay.
Let's see.
Let's see if I can shut up for 5 seconds.
No, you can't. Oh, maybe you can.
Oh my god, I did it. Okay. Excellent. All right. First of all, okay, before I forget again, I wanted to ask you, I have to word this in a particular way, otherwise I get really self-conscious. Did you receive that link I shot over to you in TikTok?
Oh.
Earlier today.
Earlier today, I probably did.
Okay, give it a look-see. You watch that, and then I'll have to explain why I was trying to be so choosy with my words, hopefully without interrupting that over there. Because of fucking Harvey Birdman.
I hate you open TikTok and it instantly goes to something.
Some random. Luckily, my feed, because of the algorithm, is usually just dogs. But there was a time there when I would like just pop open the app and immediately, because somebody sent me something,
Uh-huh.
and I pop it open, it'd just be, a butt. and
That's probably from me.
and I'd like to pretend that like I don't know how that got there or how the algorithm thought I was into that, but I know.
Yeah.
That's what it
Are you
is.
talking about this this Chokla video?
Yeah, the chocolate.
Yeah.
So you probably saw that as it happened, didn't you?
I did, and somebody over headsets said, so now we're promoting child abuse, huh?
The person that said that to me, and here's our first shout out of the night, was Diego.
Oh,
And
I love Diego.
usually when chocolate antics, when he comes across chocolate antics, he sends them right over to me. And I'm so fucking grateful for it, because that's like one of those vestiges of, that's one of those very culturally specific things that I'm so glad exists merely for my own entertainment. It's like the richest shit. Anyway, uh, I don't know. We were thinking about wrestling earlier, and then that reminded me of that. So I was like, "Oh fuck it, Bob's got to see it." And I'm also like highly entertained by the fact that like a chocolate isn't a chocolate until it's a chocolate. Like up until that point, it's just a flip flop, and then somebody weaponizes it, and it becomes something altogether more threatening.
I never knew that.
Yes, it's
like when it's used in a different fashion, its name changes.
I don't know if that's like real. I'm just saying that like fundamentally that's kind of what I mean. Seriously, it's like it's weaponry you can buy from Eckerd. I'm sorry, not Eckerd, but CVS. Excuse me. And you don't even have to go in there with like a license or anything, which is absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, that Puerto Rican crowd, they were so excited for anything.
Yeah.
On Friday, our dark match was it was LA Knight and somebody whose name escapes me, but on his level, and they popped really, really hard for LA Knight, and I was thinking tonight's gonna be a good night.
Yeah, and then the chocolate came out, and your words were verified.
Well, the funny thing was, we had to work the press conference,
Mm-hmm.
then SmackDown, and then the pay-per-view on Saturday.
Right.
So it's me and my coworker who's from Costa Rica. And there are times where they're like at the press conference, they're yelling at each other in Spanish, and he just busts out laughing. He is just dying. And I said, what's so funny? Because I can follow some Spanish. They were saying words I'd never heard before. He said, he called him a dick sniffer. Yeah.
Even in English, that is a very specific term.
But apparently they were throwing obscenities back and forth at each other in Spanish constantly, both on the presser and the live shows.
Oh wow! I wanted to ask you about this because you're doing the audio for that broadcast, which is very useful information to have. Did they have you do a canned chocolate slap when the weaponry in question was deployed?
We don't do sound effects.
Oh damn it! All right, well maybe you should. Maybe that needs to be run.
I'll bring it up with the higher ups.
Thank you. Yes,
I'm sure they would love to hear from me.
All right, I think they would, and open it by suggesting they bring back Bastion Booger as well. All right, anyway,
especially after Monday, I'm sure they would love to hear me.
Oh yeah. Is there a story? Is there lore here?
No, it's just that Monday was a highly criticized episode of Raw based off its audio. Let's say.
Really? Oh shit.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, a lot of people didn't like it. A lot of people had really good reason. It didn't sound good.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
You should have.
It wasn't by anything I was doing wrong.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, at least your job's secure for now.
I hope.
Good. All right, because we need you to keep making that bread so that we can keep doing this stupid shit. All right. Oh, speaking of where you get your money from, there was a little bit of news in wrestling this last week. Some bit of a legacy property of the WWE was improved upon, I guess.
You could say that. Let's see.
He's very subjectively improved upon, suppose.
Well,
I
I
don't
guess
know.
it depends who you ask because on a previous Monday, I think it was last Monday actually, not this Monday, the last Monday.
Mhm.
Triple H came out and he said that with Roman Reigns on SmackDown, he's going to stay on SmackDown. We need a world title over here,
Mhm.
and he unveiled the brand new. It's called the WWE World Heavyweight Championship.
Okay. All right. So, context for those of us who haven't watched wrestling regularly since 2008 or so. Roman Reigns had a belt on Raw previously, and then they did the whole brand changing thing.
Because there was the WWE title
Uh-huh.
and there was the Universal title.
Okay.
Both were considered world titles. One was on Raw, one was on SmackDown.
Okay.
WrestleMania last year,
Mhm.
Roman won both belts, held on to it all the way up to this point,
Mhm.
13, 14 months later. He
Okay.
still got both belts.
That's tragic, but okay. How does that bring this bring that up to this right here?
Well,
Did he
you
do?
see that
Mm,
that's kind of the confusing part. We don't 100% know where this is going. Is this going to is this a third world title? Is it going to replace one of the two world titles Roman has and he's got
right.
to give one up?
Because the last time something happened like this, it was when Brock won both the SmackDown and the Raw titles, and then he unified them. So they had one belt between both shows. I think that was right.
Yeah, at that time the brand split had, I think, when you do that it officially dies and there's just one world title, one tag title, one
Mhm.
women's title and so forth.
Yeah. I mean, the whole brand split story. I'm honestly impressed that they're like still going with it, or if they even, or if it's a case of like resuscitation or whatever.
It's a
It's
show.
it's kind of it's bull. I know, but even for wrestling, it's bull. Like it's
Yeah.
literally, well, you're still called the WWE, right? Yeah, but we're competing brands. Fuck it. Does the money go to the same like insane dude? Then you're the same fucking product, guys. I'm sorry. I wish we were as stupid as you think we are, but we're not. So this doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Now there was a little bit of like dramatic impetus when Shane McMahon bought WCW, and then with the big plot twist with buying ECW at the same time. It was like a lot of Hollywood and a lot of like drama. So the bullshit more or less pushed that plot line and it was easy to get into. But up to
Yeah.
that point, the brand split thing just didn't it none of it parsed.
Well, it was kind of like I'm not sure if they were just getting low on talent. It's like, well,
Mhm.
some talent's got to be on both shows, and that makes splitting up the brands kind of stupid. But
Yeah.
I think that experiment only lasted a year, maybe 2 years, and then they're like, we got to do brand split again because we got too many motherfuckers around here.
Look at all these wrestlers. Did we just get rid of like 100 of these guys last year? Yeah, I don't know what's going on. They just keep multiplying. Uh, they're coming out from under the lockers and shit. I don't get it, but whatever. Um, So now there's one belt. I'm sorry. Now there's this belt, but Roman Reigns
Oh,
still has two,
by the
and he
way,
bought. Oh, what's that? What?
I did forget one thing. We are the Cretins Guild. He is Corey. I am Bob.
No, you didn't forget. I was just gonna move past that. Whatever.
Oh,
Nobody cares.
okay. Well, let me just do the
Okay.
setup.
Okay.
And we were hoping to do, since it's just the two of us, just like these kind of mini episodes where we talk about one topic. But as we proved in the last episode, we cannot do that. We're gonna try and just stick to the one topic tonight. We're
Mm-hmm.
talking about title belts because we love ourselves some wrestling title belts. We're big fans of them. So,
Yeah.
and there's a brand new one on the market. So let's talk about it.
The funny thing is that like I stated before that like I haven't seen I haven't seen wrestling regular in like a long time, but one thing that's easy to get into with wrestling is like all the pageantry and the hardware behind it.
Yes.
So I've always been able to stay on top of like belt designs and whatnot. I mean, that's not the point of wrestling, but
Yeah, but
you know,
it's still it's that MacGuffin to go chasing for to make the story more interesting.
well, even when I did get into it back in the day, and you and Jay both remember that, like you had to push really fucking hard for that to happen, and it didn't happen until I saw my first Mankind match, and it was like, oh, I'm down. Um, but even back in the day, like one of the first things that I like started researching about it, because you can't have Asperger's and get to something without getting all the trivia out of the way, was the legacy or the lineage of each of the belts. I'm going to say legacy because it's more direct than that. And I started looking up, the history of the NWA belt and the history of the Memphis belt, which was really cool and simplistic. And because like the graphic design geek in me shouts loud and large, I remember the design concepts behind each belt were more impressive than the deeds that they were awarded to. So this is just one of those vestigial things that I've always paid attention to, even when I'm not actively involved in the fandom.
But still, at the same time, there's something about the belts, just like you said, the pageantry behind it, and I guess we kind of care about, because it's just for us.
Yeah. So this one was announced because you already talked about this. Because Roman Reigns got both belts and then like skedaddled, and then suddenly Hunter is like, I'm sorry, Triple H. Still call him fucking Hunter sometimes. It's
You're not the only one.
Like I have coffee with the dude every morning or something. How's it going, Hunter? Oh, you wouldn't believe it. I had to get a new belt. The guy was late with the mold. Anyway. So right. I was looking at this belt, and one of the belts I never really gave too much of a shake about was the big Goldie, the WCW belt.
Oh, you see, now that was one of my personal favorites.
That was your big deal. Yeah,
Yes.
You were in love with that thing, because I get it. By the way, it's got a classic look. If you look at a lot of the vintage plates from all the smaller federations, that one was basically supposed to be saying, "Look, we're like you guys, just so much fucking bigger." It drove the message home. It said what it needed to say just by you looking at it. To me, though, it's like it's super baroque, and there's just like so much visual chaos there. I was never able to. It wasn't one of my favorites, and I think we already had this episode where we rated all of our favorite belts and whatnot, right?
Yes. The
was
NXT.
yours.
What?
So that was one of yours. Was the WCW Big Gold?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I had a couple of my favorites, but I mean, I have it above me on the wall right now. It's the big gold belt with my name on it. So yeah, and it's not the WWE one where they put their own stamp really secretly in the top corner.
The furtive stamp. So
yeah.
Who's holding the belt right now? Eddie Guerrero. Oh, we have to get it changed. Sorry, guys. All right, send this back to the shop. Jesus Christ. Anyway, here's why I'm digging this belt right here. A lot of people didn't like the last belt, and I think that's why we had like a changeover so suddenly. Unless
they didn't like the Universal title.
Yeah, the really simplistic one, or the really minimalist one.
Where it was this. Let me share this.
See, I called it the diamond or the chevron, which it more resembles. But I like the symmetry of it. I like the fact that there was nothing like crowding your visual space. There wasn't like, I'm sorry, I'm just going to throw up into the microphone right now. Hang on a second. There we go. Awesome.
You good?
Oh, I'm fan-fucking-tastic.
Okay.
Oh, where did this come from? This is awesome.
I found this online. So this is the current WWE title. The Universal title is exactly like it, except for all the black is either red or blue, depending on what show is on. The last show it was on was SmackDown, so it was a blue one. So there's this guy and the bluey.
And the other reason why I liked it, it also looks like a cigar band. That was one of them. The other reason I liked it is because each of the divisions, they weren't presented with like a themed belt. Now uniformity is easier to brand, but it distinctly lacks identity, which when you're dealing with like an individualistically driven product like professional wrestling, was almost kind of like a DOA idea to begin with. I thought it was cool because it didn't like play up or play down any one particular belt design. It didn't say we're going to give like all this attention to the World Championship belt and we're going to give this much attention to the tag team belt. You know what I mean? Because like the tag team belts from like back in the Attitude Era were like kind of sad. They didn't have a whole lot of they didn't have something that identified them. The Intercontinental belt did. The World belt obviously did. And the Hardcore belt looked at those two belts and was like, fuck you both. Pedal to the metal, bitches.
Mm-hmm.
But the last iteration of belts, I think, went a little bit too much of a long way to circumvent that problem, which isn't even really a problem.
Well, what I like about this title
Mm-hmm.
is, I mean, yes, it does look like the old WCW title.
It's drawn inspiration from it at least.
Oh, without a doubt, because
Yeah.
on that Monday where he had like a red cloth over it and he revealed it, it was kind of like jarring at first. Like, whoo, oh.
What did you do to the gold belt?
Yeah. If only they gave some kind of indication what company it represents now.
Oh shit, like they're doing straight up vandalism now? All right. Well, they did the Hardcore belt, as was previously stated.
So yeah, I don't know if I'm on the fence. There's things I like, there's things I don't like. I do like how it doesn't have any, aside from black, white, and gold, it doesn't have any color.
It doesn't have any other distracting elements about it.
Which I'm a little surprised they didn't do that, because that little whoosh that's behind the W, I'm surprised that's not red.
Sorry, do you mean the little whoosh behind the W? Whoosh. Nah, I dig it. I dig the color scheme a lot. It's not as chunky as the old gold belt was.
Chunky.
I've always been into like designs that contrast silver with the gold, because a lot of people think it's a little bit too jarring. Some people are like conflicted about the value of that color scheme, as if the silver somehow taints the rest of it. And it's like, no. It's, if you don't want to have too much static in a single design, going with hard contrasting colors, only two of them, is more than serviceable. And the black as a separating element between silver against itself, it doesn't pull away from the surrounding gold either. It honestly is like, as far as like color harmony goes, it's killer. I couldn't have any more nice things to say about it. But go ahead. Yeah.
Oh no, I was just noticing there's no nameplate on this.
But you notice the screws and the side plates, right?
Yes, they've had personalized side plates for a while now.
Mm-hmm.
But this is one of the few titles that doesn't have a nameplate on it. Maybe that's something that they're phasing off of.
I don't know. It could be. No. Hold up. I just noticed something. Let me zoom in a little bit more here.
Oh, you're looking at the screws at the very bottom?
Not at the bottom. I'm looking at the screws that are not in the name or in the letter. I'm sorry, the frontispiece that says champion. I'm also looking at the screws that in the frontispiece that says world. So they're probably going to be able to take that plate off and put whoever's name there.
No, I don't think they would do that. You wouldn't, because then it would just say world and then John Cena.
No. World is the plate that comes off. That's the plate that the screws are in. Champion is the one that's hard set into the background mold. So if you take that off and it says John Cena champion, or The Miz champion, heaven forbid, or it says Roman Reigns champion, more likely, that's where the name would go.
I'm not sure if you can see my mouse. These round rivets, those aren't screws. Those are supposed to be diamonds. So they're decorative.
Like the ones that are abutting each side of the big plate.
Yeah, there's diamonds all around the side of the plates,
which is a really cool and subtle detail. I like that. All right, well, that's weird that they would put it up in the top plate and not in the lower one. But
what, the diamonds?
Yeah, the two diamonds that are up there, not down there.
Well, there's 4 at the very top here, and there's 4 at the bottom here. So I don't know. Maybe they had a limit of the amount of diamonds they had to put on this thing.
We ran out of diamonds.
We're out of diamonds, man.
Guys, we're out of diamonds. How you getting rid of? They're fake. Just go down to Hobby Lobby, get some more.
One thing I absolutely love about this title, I don't know why I love this so much. Because let's see. Let me zoom in on that.
That's funny that they actually consider the Steve Austin belt to be one of the official belts.
Well, this was used as the world title at one point.
But see, if I remember correctly, at around the same time, The Rock got his own belt too.
But it was never on TV.
But it was... Oh, what? Really?
Yes.
I'm having a Mandela moment about this.
No shit. It featured enough on the shop and I guess maybe in ads or something. But yes, it was never used on TV.
I guess I was wrong.
Yeah, you
Eh,
were. Now breathe.
yeah, I know. Verified.
All right.
All right.
So the point I wanted to make, I love the center plate shape because it's
Mhm.
obviously the big gold belt. But what I absolutely love is the side plates. They're not the rectangular one that um the old big gold belt had.
Right.
Instead, what it has these ridges on the side of the side plates
Oh yeah, those
that look like
insets.
it looks like they're hugging the center plate, which
Hmm.
there's something that I find like very aesthetically pleasing about that.
Now, whoever designed this like really killed. Is there like there's probably like no reverse view of this thing just so we can see what the clasp looks like.
Not that I can find because the one we had
Hmm.
on that Monday,
Hmm.
it wasn't 100%, let's say, completed.
Uh was
Somebody got on headsets and yelled, "Tell those guys to go easy with that thing. The glue is still not dry."
glue
I guess there's what we saw on TV was
a mock-up?
a mock-up that was very close to what the original, what the final product is going to be. If not,
That's
that was the final product, and they had like some epoxy.
that's
Still
interesting
cool.
because I
Yeah,
was just up in Stamford and I actually didn't see a Hobby Lobby anywhere near anywhere near those buildings. Oh, by the way, did you know that the WWF headquarters is actually two buildings and they're like half a mile apart from each other?
they are transitioning to new offices. I know that
Oh, is that
that
the
they
deal?
just built. I think so. They built a bigger office with studios and everything in it.
Well, one of the buildings is well, they're both pretty fucking big. But one of them seems to be like more concentrated use, whereas the other one is mixed use. A lot of other
They're probably
businesses and
what they're probably doing is they're going to turn the original building into like office space,
mhm.
and the second building is going to be, if they're going to keep both buildings, it's going to be more studio and meeting and corporate
Hmm.
type of dealy.
Oh, it's cool
I
because
don't know.
as it is right now, the feeling that one gets when they drive that main drag into Stamford is that WWF just runs the town. Even though it's like that's basically like TV town outside of Manhattan. It's just interesting to read about how Stanford became what it is as far as it relates to that industry. But anyway, we're talking about this belt.
Yeah,
Fucking whatever. Who gives a fuck about Stanford? I don't fucking care. Um, so yeah, this was pretty neat. The old one's gonna be missed, but neither one of them is gonna be the 24/7 belt. I'm sorry. I know everyone hates it, but
but
that's
you
my
know what
favorite belt.
the weird thing is we're
Uh-huh.
not entirely sure that one of the belts is going away because it hasn't happened yet.
Oh
And
yeah.
this title is going to be awarded next Saturday in the next Saudi show.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So we still don't really know if we're down to just two belts or three belts, or we don't, because that wouldn't make much sense. Why would you have two belts on one show and one belt on the other? It just, that doesn't. Nah.
Why indeed? Maybe
But the other
somebody.
thing is the terminology for all three belts is completely separate.
How's that? Okay, so the two
So
belts on SmackDown.
there's the WWE World Title,
Okay.
the Universal Title,
Okay.
and this is the World Heavyweight Championship.
Guys, they're fucking interchangeable. I'm trying to buy into the dramatics of it,
Because I
but
think what they want to do is, because we also have Raw and SmackDown tag team champions, we have Raw and
mhm,
SmackDown women's champions. I
okay.
think what they want to do is get the show branding off of these titles,
Mhm.
like maybe ditch the Universal title or ditch the WWE title, and then have this is the WWE title and the other is the Universal title,
Yeah.
and just make them both black and they're very interchangeable regardless of what's going on. I
What
don't
what
know.
what do both Okay, I know the one belt looks like the cigar band. Did they do you remember the Brock Lesnar? All right, look at 2002 to 2005, that one. That was the Universal Championship, right? The first one.
Yes, that was the after the WCW merger.
Right. That was when they
Um,
combined Big Gold with the giant coin.
yes,
Okay. All right. So at some point, after that had happened, I distinctly remember them bringing back the big gold. But I don't.
Yes, they
Okay.
did. At some point, let's see, 2005, the spinner belt came into play. Sometime after
Man, that thing
that,
stuck around for a while.
yeah. Well, I think eventually, the undisputed title eventually dropped the undisputed portion of the
Undisputed
title.
title, right.
Yeah, and then it was just the WWE Championship, and then I think at some point that's when the gold belt came back. Was I think 2004 or 5,
Okay,
and so
alright.
it carried on pretty much. I'm
Alright,
guessing some point during 2014 it stopped.
alright. So, so they did get rid of the big gold in 2014.
Oh wait, no, it's been gone for 10 years now. So I guess 2003.
Okay.
Wait, this doesn't make any sense.
Well, that's what I'm about to ask you, is if,
Okay.
both of the belts that Roman's holding now are both the cigar band style belts?
Yeah.
They
One's
both
black,
are?
one's blue.
They're getting rid of the blue one.
More than likely.
I think the blue one's going away. Yeah, okay, alright.
It is.
Now it's all coming together.
At least maybe.
That's a bummer. That's a bummer. Like I said before, I like their heart was in the right place, but yeah, you gotta juke and jive it a little bit with branding each division as like its own individual thing. Otherwise, you're going to be like, why are these guys going after the Intercontinental Belt when they could just go after the big belt, right? And then you have to be like, well, it's because they're not being pimped. And it's like, oh, well, it's supposed to be real.
The guy who has it isn't on the show.
Yeah, I know. You guys didn't know about that. But you have to make it look legit. And I think that was kind of like they kind of like dropped the ball a little bit when they stopped pushing the cruiserweight belt too. Because when you introduce weight classes into the into like the dramatic fold, and suddenly that is the biggest prize for those two to be going after. You know,
The
I thought
cruiserweight title is one of those situations where it was so weird. They were making it a big deal, and then
uh-huh.
week by week, its popularity. I mean, it went from the WWE Cruiserweight Championship, and then it eventually became the NXT Cruiserweight Championship. It's like,
Yeah,
when did the
I
belt change
know.
its name?
Yeah, this is when they didn't want to have 225 live or whatever the hell it was
Yeah,
called.
205 Live, and
205 live
as
anymore.
soon
Yeah.
as 205 Live was actually going on for quite a while, and then
Yeah.
once they decided to rebrand that show, drop the 205, and change the title. It's like,
Uh-huh.
all right, let's get rid of the Cruiserweight Championship as well. We don't need that anymore.
That fucking sucks, though. See, the thing is that like I thought that they played up each wrestler's weight so that they would have a reason to have dudes that were roughly the same size going after higher tier belts, because they could say, well, he's 225 pounds, he ought to be going after the World Heavyweight Championship because he's heavy. The fucking fat ass. You can go after the Intercontinental Belt, which is really just reserved for dudes that are like 200 pounds, and most 200-pound dudes that we know don't really look like professional wrestlers anyway. But I thought that was because of narrative plausibility that they did that, so they'd have like some sort of at least an acceptable excuse to have these dudes going after the Intercontinental Belt or the European Belt or whatever, and to have these dudes going after Cruiserweight or the Heavyweight Belt, et cetera, et cetera.
The funny thing is when they made the transition that they did, they decided to make the transition before changing the name of the show.
Uh-huh.
So 205 Live, it was taped before NXT on Tuesdays.
Right. Yeah, we went to a couple of those, didn't we?
No, I don't think they
okay.
had. It definitely wasn't at NXT when you and I were going to them.
Oh, okay. All right.
But
I remember that for some reason.
But the show now is called Level Up, and basically it's the tryout show for brand new people before they get onto NXT. So
Level Up.
Yeah, it's the development show, basically.
So basically, main event from ROH, or
Oh, I see.
yeah.
Well, the reason I bring all that up is they pulled the trigger on making that transition, and they couldn't change the name until several months later. So all this time on 205 Live, you would see like 270, 300-pound guys on the show, and you're like, I don't think they're 205.
Yeah, wasn't fucking Tony Nese on 205 Live? And it's like, That guy looks like he does legitimately weigh 220 pounds.
Yeah, all muscle weight, but yeah, he was
dude,
he was the
like,
cruiserweight champion for a while.
He's a fucking fire plug. Like, like he's built like a robot.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. So I remember that, like, in order to excuse it, they had him do like, oh, well, for one thing, the narrative take on it was that he's short, so he doesn't weigh that much. And
Yeah.
two, they would have him do like one awkward ass high spot per match in order to like kind of like push the whole cruiserweight concept with him. And then eventually they get up and they're like, no, look at the fucking dude. Come on, how are you stupid? He clearly doesn't. He doesn't. No, he's a bit hefty. That would have fucking great if they tried to pass off like oh, what the hell is his name? Not Bray Wyatt.
They were passing off guys built as Bastion Booger.
Oh,
on
wow,
205.
Really?
Yeah,
no
super
shit.
fat guys. Yeah, they just like no, you don't belong on this show. That's why I said they made the programming change before the name change, and it just didn't work.
So instead of fudging their weight, they'd have to fudge their heights a little bit.
At 3 foot,
at 280 pounds and 4'8". He's not 4'8". God damn it, guys. They got Gilbert taking the heavyweight championship on that show.
Gilbert.
Gilbert's the best. Gilbert, he'll always be our heavyweight champion. Our Cretins weight champion. How about that? Has he ever gotten the belt legit? Well, he's never challenged.
Just the light heavyweight.
I mean, our belt. We don't really challenge him. We don't.
No.
Nobody's ever thought about it though.
No, that we haven't. But
I'm
not sure he wants to be disturbed.
I'm not sure he wants the Cretins belt on his run. Well, you've held the WWE Light Heavyweight Championship. He did a lot of stuff for WCW also, right?
Did he?
He was like Dwayne Gilt at the time, but he was like Jobber to the Stars.
That was long
ago.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So what's this? The Cretins Heavyweight World? We don't talk about that, man. We don't talk about that. It was dark days indeed. Really? Even darker than Gilbert? Oh my God. At least I was on TV with Gilbert.
He's had some health issues. Otherwise, I wish you'd go on a convention or two because I'd bring the belt to him just to get a photo with him.
That would be really cool. Damn it. All right. Well, put that on the board. One day when the stars align. Anyway, I'm digging the belt. I like it. It's good times.
I'm warming up to it. I'm probably 70-30 on this is a good design. I take that back. It is a good design. It's still warming up to me a little slower than some other belts have in the past.
It's a little bit of a shock. Has it just really thrown you for a loop? Did my mic cut out? What happened?
No, I was just waiting for you to elaborate.
Oh, no. I was like, it's just because it's new and because it was like so soon, even if it probably wasn't, because those other belts were introduced in like 2014, I think, right?
That sounds about close.
That's always, that's what I'm saying. It's always the shock of the new that like throws some people. But honestly, those old belts didn't get a positive reception to begin with.
Oh no, the first time we saw the Universal title, it was booed out of the building.
That's right. Because of the passion so often displayed by your average wrestling fan.
Yeah, which they weren't on display on Jacksonville. Thank you very much, you assholes. Swear to God, there were people visibly sitting in the front row on their phones during the main event.
Oh, shit.
Like you paid $200 for nothing.
Really?
Yes.
Wait, how much was that ticket?
It was a lot. I don't know the exact number, but I'm sure it was probably more than $200.
Maybe they felt they already paid at the gate.
Yeah.
It's like, you want anything else out of us, guys? You're gonna have to work for it.
Yeah.
All right, fair.
But anyway. I think that's going to do it for this discussion. That was a nice little short episode we pulled off.
Kind of.
Aimed for.
A little bit. Yeah. Wait. How long?
Long enough.
Oh, damn it. I thought I was going to get the championship belt for keeping it like high and tight. But
you didn't challenge for it, man. Maybe on the next
Uh,
episode you should do that.
who am I gonna challenge to like fucking shut the fuck up during one of these recordings? That's only gonna be me.
And I
No.
know you can't hold it. I know you can't.
No, I can't.
Okay.
Which is yeah.
We'll
Exactly.
figure something out.
When-
So in the meantime, everyone, practice infinite diversity in infinite combinations. Linktree to all of our socials and other media can be found on the description. Join our Discord to continue the discussion. Tell us what your favorite wrestling belt of all time is. We would love to hear from you.
It's the 24/7 belt, guys. You remember that, okay?
Oh, God.
I'm giving you the answer already. You don't have to do any research whatsoever.
You know, I'm glad I'm a moderator. I can kick out anyone who says that.
We're not on
But
Discord,
well, not at the
and
moment.
I'm a moderator.
So you can kick me out if you want.
I'm not gonna do that.
I know, because I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, when I win the belt, you have to hand it to me.
Yeah. So the guy who's not here is Jay. You can find him on YouTube at Square Pegs. You can find my channel, Skipper Bob's Breakdowns, both of them on YouTube. We have merch on tpublic.com. Features the fabulous arts of Mr. Tom Solo.
Fuck yeah, Tom. I mean, F yeah, Tom Solo. Sorry.
Tom Solo, baby!
There we go. Yes.
We are part of the Podfix Network, and to all of our followers, new and old, we say...
Welcome to the guild.
Welcome to the guild.
And to all your dogs and cats.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Fuck. That's not your thing.
I know. Where's no? You have to. Did we?
Is he in the room? Is he in the room?
Is Jay in here? No, he's not in here.
Okay, I was gonna have him yell it from the distance.
Oh, because I thought that was a Robbie thing initially.
You know, it's a bit that's been going so long, I don't remember who started it or how it started. It could be a Robbie thing.
I would put at least $5 on that. But the
Yeah,
only
you know what?
sure.
I would have to find it, but yes, it probably was a Robbie thing.
Nice. And that is his contribution to the show, and it was a big one. Let him know.
Man.
You're a dead man, Ramsey.
Yeah.
No wonder you guys don't talk. N-word. Whoa, Hulk, jeez. That's
wow.
the director's
and that's how we go out. Oh man. I kicked Corey off by mistake.